Hey everyone, this is Frosty, and today I have a Zerg versus Protoss game for you all to watch. And this is actually a replay, which is not something that I normally do, but maybe I'll try a few of them. Usually I like to commentate and play the game at the same time because I find that's really entertaining, you're in the moment. But now we're going back to the moment. So here is me, Frosty, in the bottom left-hand corner of Neo Planet, and that is the map we are on today. And up in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player, JiMmY. And if you can note, one thing about this map is that there is actually not a single watchtower. So when I first had played this map, I was like, what? Where are the watchtowers? But there are none. And there's actually a roundabout, so there is basically two ways you can go to get to your enemy's base. Plus, there is actually two golds, but it's a pretty dangerous spot to mine from, seeing as you got the high ground and then you can come from either side. It looks like JiMmY does plan on actually expanding because he did throw a pylon out in front of his natural. It's a pretty nice choke. I'm sure he'll choke it. And then here is JiMmY. There he is. He has come into my base. And I actually went out to go and scout JiMmY, but JiMmY doesn't know I went to go scout. JiMmY thought I might have put down a hatchery, which I did not. And we know Protoss just loves to stop Zerg hatcheries. You know, they just hate Zerg expanding for some reason. Which I guess, they can do it, so they might as well. And I went down with this drone just a little bit too early. I did not have, I think I was around 280 when I got down there. And good old JiMmY places a nice pylon right where my hatchery would go. Oh, good old Protoss. But in response, I decided to build a spawning pool because I know that Protoss can be pretty annoying about this, and I just want to spend my money as quick as possible. And I'm going to be trying to build my base out here to the right of my main, and I can see that JiMmY is following me because I am following him, so I decided to hide the drone up in the top to be a little sneaky. But there is actually a back door here I could be attacked from. There is rocks and it's still actually open as well, so I tried to place my hatch, but somehow I can't get it down, and good old JiMmY places another pylon. Oh, JiMmY, you know how ticked off a Zerg player would be right now. If you do this as Protoss, I guess pat yourself on the back because it's pretty effing annoying. It's really annoying. But I end up actually getting a hatch, and this is where it is going to be placed. I do not get it at my natural because JiMmY with his pylons. He actually cancels them, of course, that's what they like to do. And now my spawning pool is all finished up, and my first queen is on the way. Now if we go to JiMmY's base, we can see that his nexus is already over halfway done, and my base literally just started. I'm about a third of the way done. So we know JiMmY is way ahead. I think JiMmY knows he is way ahead. His forge is done, his gateway is being produced, and so is a photon cannon. But I am in JiMmY's base right now, scouting around with my drone. Now this is something that I absolutely love to do versus Protoss when they FFE, because what are you gonna do? You can't really do much about me unless you get a stalker out. That's usually the case. They'll have to wait until a stalker, and if they try to go for something sneaky and they try to shoo me out with probes, I feel like I have an idea that they're going for something suspicious. So yeah, I'm just going to continue to circle around in JiMmY's base and get all the information that I can. And there is still, JiMmY actually let this pylon finish at the natural. I guess he really doesn't want this natural going up, so he's going to sacrifice 100 minerals to do that. And then let's go back to my base, see what is going on. Well, I've got 2 gas geysers on the way. Let's go and see who has more harvesters right now. Okay, so JiMmY has more harvesters. Quite a few more harvesters. He's got 7 more of them. And now he has even more. Wow, he's 10 harvesters ahead now. And I'm going to go for some kind of gas. I decided to actually get this expansion because I want to connect all 3 of my bases. And I feel that as a Zerg player, having JiMmY delayed my expansion for such a long time, I really need this, and I really need to defend this, and I need this to work out. I need all my bases to stay safe and to just work. So we'll see how that goes. Anyways, back into JiMmY's area, we can see that I'm actually going to be spreading some of my Zerglings around his base so that I know exactly when JiMmY is going to be coming in to attack, because right now I know that I'm going to get attacked by Protoss. Protoss knows he knows that right now he is ahead of the game, so he's probably going to go in for an earlier attack. And there's my drone just sitting there. If it could just circle around his base and just scout, then he'd actually be able to see that there is a robotics facility right now being built. And there are 3 gateways. So I don't think this drone actually ended up seeing anything. And as you can see, it always takes a stalker to basically get that drone out of the base. And I don't think I actually saw, no, I did not see anything that he was building. But he is going to be building an observer, so nothing too suspicious going on right now. 2 more gas going up for JiMmY, and warp gate is being researched. Now let's go back into the units and see what we're at. So I'm actually, yeah, woo! I'm a few harvesters ahead of JiMmY now. So I've really been pumping them out. I'm actually ahead in supply as well, except right now I'm supply capped, so that's not fantastic. And let's go back into my base. I am going to be getting some Zergling speed, and I'm going to be getting a lair. Now there's one build that I absolutely have been loving in Heart of the Swarm, and that was to be going for some speedlings, some swarm hosts, and then on over to the Ultralisk. Now you might be saying, well, you don't have any anti-air. Well, I'll get anti-air if I need it. I guess that's how I lost a game by, yeah, there was a sky toss and that happened. But now we're in this game, so let's see what JiMmY, is going to be doing. JiMmY has decided to build a robotics base, so there's going to be some Colossus coming on out. There is already the first Immortal ready to shoot down some roaches or some spine crawlers, a few more zealots to take care of any of the zerglings that I have. But what do I have in my base? Well, my lair is now all finished up. I'm really not building too much. I have actually quite a lot of minerals, but I don't know why I'm not spending it. I should probably like build another hatch, a ton of drones. My supply lock, that probably was it. I was probably supply locked. I am going to be getting double evolution chambers because it's already almost 10 minutes into the game, and I know I seriously need some upgrades at this point. And it looks like JiMmY has decided to march on in, and my Zergling that sacrificed his life did end up seeing that, and he is going to send a pro behind to throw down a proxy pylon right there. And I know that JiMmY's coming in, so I'm trying to defend up, because literally all I had defense-wise was those 4 Zerglings out near JiMmY's base. So I got 4 spine crawlers and about 40 Zerglings here. And JiMmY takes down one of my spine crawlers, but I end up going to the back of his army and getting the units that I am much better at, like the Immortal and the Stalkers. And I took a little small army to take down that proxy pylon and the probe, because the last thing I want right now is more units to be warping on in close to my base. 3 spine crawlers are now finished up, and these last little bit of Zerglings is just going to take out the rest of JiMmY's army. Woohoo! I survived. I was so surprised that I survived. Just gives me enough time to build those spine crawlers. So back in my base, we can see that I have decided to build an infestation pit because I do want to go for the swarm house. I got 24 more Zerglings on the way. Not sure why I'm building 24 Zerglings. Maybe I'm planning on going in for an attack, or maybe I feel as though JiMmY is gonna come in soon. Who knows? But JiMmY is not coming in right now. He has decided to build a Nexus. So he plans on expanding. I have quite a lot of gas. Wow, that's pretty substantial. There is JiMmY's first Colossus on out now. Oh, and there's my little changeling. Oh, nice. He's not coming with your army because he's a changeling. And I was actually, with my changeling, able to scout everything he has right here. I know that he has 2 robotics facilities, so he is going to be pumping out a bunch of Colossus. I use this little overseer right there. And it looks as though JiMmY, I guess, is going to try to come in and attack with a proxy pylon with a probe. I don't know where that probe is, though. But I am going in for an attack because I guess I thought at this point, hey, I got a ton of Zerglings, time to do something with them. But I don't think that was the best move because I lost a good majority of my army there, a ton of Zerglings. And he's got 3 Colossus to take those down. And JiMmY knows that I just terribly lost my whole army. And I know I lost my whole army, therefore I'm building 6 swarm hosts, and JiMmY is marching on in. And here he goes. He's going to take out 3 of my overlords. He's going to supply lock me, but I do have 4 overlords that are going to be morphing on in, and my hive is almost finished up. So right now I only have 2 options. I could build Zerglings, Infestors, or Swarm Hosts. And Infestors would be useless because I don't have their upgrade. And Zerglings are basically kind of useless because they have really low armor versus these Colossus. So Swarm Hosts it is, and I've got 6 of them. And JiMmY actually has no detection right now. I've got some Zerglings running in from behind to do a little bit of damage to JiMmY. And I am just so happy that these Swarm Hosts have not been detected. I've actually done a pretty good job at depleting a lot of his ground force, and more of my Swarm Hosts are coming on out. And those 2 Colossus of JiMmY's is coming on into my main base. He's really extending himself in my main base, but he's doing all this damage to the queen when I really think he should probably be putting it into the workers. And there are 40 Zerglings just morphing on out right now, and those 2 Colossus are going to go down to my Zerglings. He does not have enough Colossus to deal with my Zerglings. And then JiMmY is just going to back up to his proxy pylon. He knows that I have a bunch of Zerglings, so he morphed in a few more Zealots, and I know he is right outside my base, so I'm going to do a little bit of an attack, but I realize that I'm actually not doing too much damage because his Zealots are doing too much to me, so therefore I'm going to run back to his base, try to get this expansion down. But hey, I see a Colossus. Let's take care of that. Oh, was not such a great idea. I did not know there were 2 Colossus behind that one. Alright, so JiMmY is right now ahead on supply. He is about 25 ahead, over 25 ahead now in supply. I now have my Ultralisk Cavern going down. Look at the money, look at the gas. I'm just saving right now. I'm just saving for the Ultras because I love Ultras so much. I just want to spend it all on Ultras. And JiMmY sees what I am doing. He sees everything. He's got his observer. He's got the no. I still have my 6 Swarm Hosts. They all survived, so that is pretty fantastic. I should actually take down this proxy pylon because nothing's defending it right now. And with these evolution chambers, I did end up getting 1 melee and 1 armor attack, and now I'm going for 2/2 on that. Ultralisk Cavern now just finished up, and there are 8 Ultras now on the way, and JiMmY is now right outside my base with 5 Colossus. And I think he actually ended up getting Thermal Lance. He got Thermal Lance, and he just has the Warp Gate, so there aren't any weapons or armor for JiMmY right now. So my Ultras are almost done. I just have to hold on for a little longer, but this time JiMmY actually has 2 observers to scout out these 6, what are they called? Swarm Hosts, yes. The 6 Swarm Hosts. And then I see that one of my Swarm Hosts was taking a little bit of damage, so I try to run those back, save them, and the Ultralisk just come out right in time. Although JiMmY is in a nice choke point, I would like to see him a little bit more spread out, but all of his Colossus are in the back, unprotected, and then a bunch of my Ultralisk come on out from my 3rd base and push him up into my main, and he really has no escape at this point, but he actually ended up taking every single one of my Swarm Hosts out, which is a pretty good amount of damage he did. But I ended up killing 5 of his Colossus, and those things take a while to build, so I think I'm just gonna go in and march in for an attack at this point. And JiMmY's making the right decision right now. He's got 2 Colossus with 2 Immortals on the way. He also has ground armor and his ground weapons on the way. I don't know why he is killing off this pylon, because currently there is ground weapons being researched. Not anymore though, and it was a good almost 3/4 of the way done. I don't know why he just wouldn't let that finish, but maybe he wants to come out and save this base with that Immortal. But I do have quite a lot of Ultras, so he's going to need quite a big force to take me down. And we can see JiMmY sees everything I'm doing, of course. And JiMmY actually has a Dark Shrine now on the way inside his base, right out in the front, which I don't understand why he would put it right out in the front, because I will be able to scout that in just a little bit. Anyways, a few more Ultras are joining up with the herd of Ultras, and they're so glowy. I love the glow. I paid 20 bucks for that glow, and I am happy with my purchase. I'm very happy. Anyways, I got 3 more Ultras. My 2/2 upgrades are done. Back to upgrades. I also ended up getting the plating on my Ultras for, I think you can research that. Yeah, it's at the Ultralisk Cavern. And here he goes. JiMmY is going in for an attack, and he has 4 Immortals, 2 Colossus, and a few Stalkers. And I'm actually not controlling my units very well here. As you can see, I'm taking way too much damage. These are Ultralisk These Ultras, look at it. How many of them are so low on life? But hey, I want to win this game. And as you can see, supply-wise, I'm almost 100 ahead. And it looks like JiMmY now warps in 3 Zealots, which actually ends up doing a fantastic job because they actually hold me back, allowing this Immortal to get a lot of really great hits in. And the Immortal has actually already got two of my Ultralists killed, and then he gets 3 Ultralists, so he was well worth his money, but we know he's gonna go down. And I saw this Dark Shrine. He ended up finishing off the last of my Ultras, which I didn't even realize how they died, but that was it. And in response to the DTs, I'm going to be throwing up a bunch of spores and a bunch of spines in every single one of my bases because it's not, you know, like I've lost to DTs before with my Ultras, you know. That's just the worst thing that could ever happen to you. You're about to win the game and like DTs destroy your base and they go to every single base and you're like, ah. Luckily I scouted the Dark Shrine, so that was pretty good. And this queen actually does end up going down. My spine crawlers were just a little bit later than my spores, but I loved the positioning of this. I thought that was fantastic. I need to replicate that. Alright, so how many Ultralists do I got? Let's see what I have. I've got 6 Ultralists right now, and that's about it. JiMmY only has 2 Immortalists. Oh, so Immortalisks. That's not even... I'm combining things now. That would be pretty interesting. I kind of want to make a drawing of it. An Immortal and an Ultralisk. I used to do that. If you guys have been subscribed to my channel for a very long time, then originally my background used to be all the different units combined. So I would do like a Protoss Ultralisk or, you know, a Zerg SCV, those kind of things, because, you know, I just pull things from a hat and combine them. Anyways, I see that JiMmY is now expanding. Good old JiMmY is trying to expand, but my Overseer is just probably going to make this a little inconvenient for him, and damn, those Ultras are good. Oh, yeah. And JiMmY now has 3 Archons out, so that's good for him. Archons are pretty good against Ultralists, though I think they're a little worse now in Heart of the Storm. 2 Immortalists are out, and my Zerglings are just gonna run and, you know, cancel the space, stop it. Whatever happens, he's gonna cancel it, get his money back. And I do have 3 Overseers with me because I know that he does have a Dark Shrine, so I don't want to lose all my Ultralists to those DTs because those DTs just destroy Ultras. They really do. But this game is in the bag, and there we go. JiMmY GG's. That is a game for you all. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this because I sure had a lot of fun playing it. I hope you guys have great luck in your future games, and I will see you all very soon.